Hello, this is the TradeSide U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Monday the 30th of October and ending Friday the 3rd of November 2017. Happy Halloween on Tuesday to everybody. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market futures forum, closing at all-time highs. ES wasn't up as much as you would think because the NASDAQ was up huge based on Google and Amazon being up ridiculous numbers from their earnings. So let's just go through it all, and then we'll look at the intra-week action and see what we got. We'll look at the data coming out this week. So crude oil also up $1.55 to 54.20. That's almost a new high for the year on crude oil, which is not really a positive. Gold up $4.60. That's not a big deal. So the S&P cash, after gapping up, closed up 20. And that's fine. But the index was up 175 points. We talked about this in the room. When you see what the advanced decline ratio was and you realize how much the NASDAQ's up, you're going to realize that this is kind of unusual. I haven't seen this. I mean, I can't remember the last time the NASDAQ was up almost 200 points, and yet most stocks did not participate. Yes, the SOX was up 26. That's a new closing high. And by the way, there it is. We talked about this. 13 sell signal on the SOX, making new highs on that move. And they said we need to make new highs to get that done. Biotech's up 22, but they're still down a lot for the last 2 weeks. That's not a recovery there. The VIX loses $1.50 to 980. So back into single digits on the VIX on this move. The trend at 1.07, and that brings the 10-day moving average down to 1.04. We're going to lose, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, we're not going to lose any major numbers off the moving average anytime soon. NASDAQ volume 2.4 billion. Obviously, Amazon and Google helped out with that. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ, only plus 523. That's actually not that strong. And when you realize this is what the point is, NASDAQ up almost 175 points and only 500 more stocks up than down on the NASDAQ. This is all about two stocks. And that's what's different between now and 15 years ago is that a couple stocks weight these indices so hard. Advanced decline ratio on the New York was up 641. And so here it is, Google gains, and it was higher intraday, by the way. Sold off. Look at this 5-minute chart here real quick, right? Inverted cup formation forming. But anyways, sold off. It's a doji, and it's a negative looking doji. Up 42 points for the session, though, and obviously a big deal for Google. Apple not to new highs, but up 564 in unison with them. Here's the big one. Amazon up 128.52. Why not? In one day, they just out of the blue went to new highs. Netflix up $4.33. And by the way, if I go to projection mode on this, also a 13 sell signal. So the two 13 sell signals of note. One is Netflix, one is the SOX index itself. Tesla, on the other hand, down 530. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, back up 81 cents to 123.24. Goldman Sachs literally lost a penny. It doesn't even matter. Here's the ES and 5-minute candles. Note that the 13 sell signal on the Comer was the high of the day. And then let's go to 10 minutes so you can see the whole week. So here we go. For the week, we only gained not even 10 points. And 8 points, 6 points, 6 points, 6 points on the ES for the entire week. So Monday, little dip. Tuesday, basically flat. Wednesday, dipped but came back a bit. Thursday, gapped up, filled, and flat. And then Friday, the gap up and go. All this for the week on the S&P adds up to 8-point gain. Again, I keep talking about this, the broad market not doing much. Meanwhile, on the NASDAQ side, it's going to look very different because of what this means. Little gap up Monday. We drifted lower. Tuesday, pretty flat. Wednesday, we went a little lower. Thursday, very flat but lower, right? And then Friday, boom. By the way, look at those earnings came out right at the close on Thursday, and then you still see the last 15 minutes of candles shooting up. So we were at 60.40 on the NASDAQ at the close of the stock market on Thursday, and then the numbers came out immediately, shot up, and then gapped up and ran on Friday. And so for all that, you end up gaining for the week, but we were down 4 days before that happened. So welcome back to earnings season and earnings stuff. All right. So let's switch this chart back to 5-minute candles, and let's put the ES back front and center. And then let's take a look at the economic data that's coming out this week. There's actually quite a bit. On Monday, we've got the core PCE price index, personal income and spending, and then loan officer survey. Tuesday, an hour before the bell, employment cost index. S&P housing price index at 9. Chicago PMI at 945. Consumer confidence at 10. On Wednesday, we've got non-farm employment change at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time. 9:45, 15 minutes in the market, final manufacturing PMI. 30 minutes in, ISM manufacturing PMI and construction spending. An hour in, crude oil inventories. We got total vehicle sales at some point in the day, and then a Fed announcement. So it's a 2-day Fed announcement with the announcement at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. Thursday, Challenger job cuts at 7:30. the weekly unemployment and initial jobless claims numbers at 8:30, non-farm productivity and unit labor costs also. Got natty gas an hour in, and then on Friday, here's the big combo. The unemployment rate with non-farm payrolls and trade balance, two big numbers an hour before the bell. Final services PMI 15 minutes into the market. ISM non-manufacturing PMI and factory orders 30 minutes in. And then here's the other thing to keep in mind is next Saturday night, we do have our time change here in the U.S. So we're going to set our clocks back, which is one of my favorite things to ever happen every year. That's it. So we got some stuff coming out this week in terms of data. I mean, it's hard to say what to do after what just happened here on Friday. That's the strangest thing ever. This big gap on two stocks and everything else not really participating. Whatever. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.